What's going on, guys, and welcome back to your Ottawa Senators Legend Franchise Mode. Also, welcome to GM Week. That's right, baby. We are starting this up once again. A GM video every day this week. I love recording Franchise Mode, so why not pull out a little GM Week for you guys here. So, in the last episode, we got rid of year number 1. We saw our AHL team get eliminated from the postseason as well, and then the Winnipeg Jets ended up winning the Stanley Cup in year number 1. So John Tavares and Danny Heatley, they killed it. Exact same thing with Nikolai Zherdev. 87 points is still unbelievable. Everyone was a plus 10 on our first line. That's great, but it's the second and the third line that kind of concerns me. 57 points is good for Leon Draisaitl. Nash is alright, and Brandon Sutter played really well on the third line. Braden Point played well on the third line as well, but it really drops off after Nikolai Zherdev. Now, I know Draisaitl's still really young, only 21 years old, so headed into the draft here, I know what we don't need, and that is definitely a centerman, because we have Sutter, Draisaitl, and Tavares, and they're going to be here for a long time. Maybe not Brandon Sutter, but I mean, he did great, 46 points. I don't see a reason to move him, but Draisaitl's still young, and Tavares is honestly such a beast, so I don't see us getting rid of John Tavares anytime soon. So our centers are pretty good. Our wingers are good. Nikolai Zherdev and Danny Heatley are awesome. Rick Nash may be dealt at the draft, and Sven Berchi I'm kind of unsure of. As of right now, we have Point on the wing and Patrick Maroon. So I think drafting a winger in this draft is probably going to be our smartest thing. I think it's going to be the best move for our team, but I'm going to take the best player available. Now there's so many people saying, trade Pascal Leclerc, trade him, he's going to get worse, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't want to get rid of him. I do and I don't. I mean, that vision, he's blind. We all know that. The guy can't see a puck worth anything. But there's a few comments that were still saying that, yeah, I've had a goalie with bad vision and he still got to be 93 overall. Now, he's only 20 years old, low franchise. I don't want to give up on him right now. I'm going to give him one more year, and then we're going to make our decision on Pascal Leclerc, because this year was not pretty. Some guys were saying you would have made the postseason if it wasn't for Pascal Leclerc. I don't know if that is actually true, but it very well could be. It very well could be. So Riley Walker says, trade your goalie now before he gets any worse. You can trade him and Nash for another young goalie that isn't low potential. Now, I see what you're saying there. A lot of people don't like low potential, but McDavid97 says, no, that's bad. He will get better, and I really hope he does. He has already dropped to 86. Or sorry, no, he was 86, went to 87. Now he's dropped back down to 86. So there is some question marks with our team, and goaltending is probably the biggest one. So I'm going to hold off on doing anything crazy until we can actually figure out what Pascal Leclerc is. He's only 20 years old, all right? Only 20. He's just a kid. I don't want to give up on him just yet. I want to see if he can. I want to see if he can be the goalie that I think he can be. It's just that vision is not good. He's pretty much blind at this point. Can't see anything on the ice. Poor guy. But we're going to go ahead and start the draft here. We have the 8th overall pick, I believe, if I remember right. It's the 8th or the 9th. I'm pretty sure it's the 9th, but we'll have a look here. So it's actually funny that Philadelphia and New Jersey have the top 2 picks. That's how they actually are in the real NHL. Obviously, it's reversed, though. New Jersey has the top pick, and then followed by the Flyers and the Dallas Stars. So that's kind of funny how that worked out. But as for the first and the second overall picks, I saw some people say trade Leclerc for the first, trade Leclerc for the second, blah, 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 get Nico Hischier. There's no point right now. We have John Tavares, we have Leon Draisaitl, we have Brandon Sutter. Picking a center really isn't on my list, so I don't really want to do that. I mean, there's no point in us to go ahead and get a Nolan Patrick. I mean, we have John Tavares. I don't want to play Nolan Patrick or Hischier on the wing, so I think that sticking to my plan of either getting a defenseman, a winger, or a goalie is going to be the best move for our franchise right now. So one thing I want to mention is I do have the trade block still active, so we're going to be getting a lot of trade offers, probably every single pick. We're going to be getting a trade offer or two, plus we want to get rid of Rick Nash as well. I mean, I wouldn't mind hanging on to Rick Nash, but he is a big trading asset. Now, if we can get a few picks in this draft, I would not be opposed to that, because I don't want to be a rebuilding team for 3 or 4 years. I want to make the playoffs, like, if not next year, the year after that, and be contending. 'Cause I want to win some Stanley Cups. So let's see what the Philadelphia Flyers do. It's going to be one of the two, a first and a prospect for Rick Nash and Zach Bogosian. Now, it's a 2018 first. I think I can get better than that. I think I can do a little bit better than that, so I'm going to say no. They picked Nolan Patrick number 1, and I assume Nico Hischier is going to go number 2. Rick Nash and Bogosian for a 2017 first. Now, Rick Nash and Bogosian. See, it's kind of like a package deal, it looks like. That's a lot of cap being off our books as well. 4 years at 5.1 for Zach Bogosian, and then 2 more years for Rick Nash at 7.8. So a first is nice, but I think I'm going to have to go and look around some other options right now. I don't want to jump on the first thing that I see. Again, we're going to be getting a lot of trade offers. So Shushko, I don't even know who that guy is. Right-wing sniper M. Shushko? I've never heard of that guy. Interesting. Okay. Then the third overall. Okay, hold on here. We got 2 firsts for Lawson Krause and Zach Bogosian. So Winnipeg wants to give us pretty much a first for Zach Bogosian. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see if I can make something work here. I want your first, all right? Now remember, they won the Stanley Cup, so their pick is going to be the 30th overall pick. Oh, man. Okay, you know what? We'll wait. I'm not giving up Lawson Krause, but Bogosian is interesting. I think if I add a little bit more, I could definitely get a first for Zach Bogosian, but we're going to hang on here. We're going to relax. Nico Hischier ends up going to the Chicago Blackhawks, a big center there, and Ben Bishop. So they want to give us a goalie. We want to get rid... Oh, man. Oh boy, we get a goalie, but we have to give up Pascal Leclerc. We get a first and a second for Rick Nash. Oh my god. I don't want to give up Leclerc at all. I do not want to give up Leclerc. Plus, we have to sign Ben Bishop this year. I wouldn't mind getting Ben Bishop kind of to challenge Pascal Leclerc, to be honest with you. I know in the comments you guys are going to say, you should have taken that deal. What are you doing, you idiot? I really don't want to get rid of Pascal Leclerc, though. He's our legend. We drafted him, right? Like... Oh, man. Big bad Ben Bishop as well. Let's see what he's looking like. He's what? He's 31 years old, I think. So he's definitely, if not past his prime, you know, he's kind of on the outs there. He's 30 years old. He is a starter. He's good. There's no doubting that Ben Bishop is a good goalie. If we do go with this deal, if we do go with the deal to get rid of Pascal Leclerc, that's giving up on a guy for a 30-year-old aging goaltender. Now, do we really want to do that? I don't think so. I do like the picks and getting rid of Rick Nash, but I think you guys can understand why I'm not picking this deal. I still think Pascal Leclerc is going to be good. I still think he is. I'm going to say no to this deal right now. Now that we know that that's the running price, we can maybe have a look at this, and maybe if I get your guys' comments and you guys are really telling me to go do this, we'll see. But as of right now, I'm going to say no to that. So Vassalainen went to the New York Rangers. Now, one player I'm looking at here is Maxime Comtois, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's a French guy. Comtois, where is he? There he is. Who's a left wing high top 6. Now, I would love to get my hands on this guy, listed as a top 10. So if these guys could go next, that would be great. And we could either have our selection of Comtois or Velarde, but we'll see. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 4 picks still. Oh, that's interesting. We may have to look at maybe trading to the Columbus Blue Jackets next time. We'll see. So the 5th overall pick goes to the Montreal Canadiens. I saw they picked Gabe Velarde there, so that's interesting. 2 firsts. Nah, you know what? You're never going to get Nikolai Zherdev from me. No, thank you. I really hope they don't take Comtois here. I might move up. We might see if we can move up here. We'll trade our pick, plus we give them Rick Nash maybe for something. We'll see. Or we could just straight up go Rick Nash and something else for the first. We'll see what we can do. Let me have a quick look here. What if we give you Rick Nash and Calgary's 2nd for the 6th overall pick, and then that means that we can have the 6th and the 8th overall? Now, I don't think that'll go through. We'll try it. I don't think it will, though. No, I'm not even going to try. You know what? Let's just try just for fun. Trade rejected. Yeah, obviously not going to work. So we have to add something along the lines for that 2nd. Now, if we could give a decent-ish prospect, like someone like like maybe Sompy. That's maybe a little bit too much, and I think he has 1 year left on his deal. Yeah, he does. So it'd have to be someone like Nicholas Milosh, who I'm not a big fan of getting rid of. You know what? He's a low top 4. Okay, alright, you do got to give up something to get something, so maybe we'll throw Nicholas Milosh in there. That'll probably send it over. It's about even, honestly. You give a second, Rick Nash, and a decent prospect for the 6th overall pick. We'll see if this will push this trade over the edge. Plus we get the 6th, and we also have the 9th, so that'll be nice. Let's see here. Rick Nash, a second, and Milosh for the 6th overall pick, even though it's quite close to fair value. So they're saying maybe add a little bit more, and we could think about having a deal here. I don't want to give any other prospects. We could probably give up this Tolshinsky guy, who is 22 years old, 70 overall, high AHL top 6. I would not be opposed to getting rid of someone like that. Now that will probably send this trade over the edge. We're definitely going to get the 6th overall pick here. And then with this 6th overall pick, we're definitely going to pick Maxime Comtois. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I'm pretty sure. This trade will probably go through. Trade accepted. There you go. So we get rid of Rick Nash. We have to give up a second and 2 decent prospects, but now we get that left winger that I really wanted in that Maxime Comtois. Let's go ahead and select him without hesitation. Where is he? There you go, high top 6. Now there is a few decent defensemen available. I don't want to go after Liljegren. We've had him before. I know that Comtois is usually medium elite, so let's go ahead and pick our big winger here. There he is, Maxime Comtois, 6'2", 205, left wing playmaker. That's great. We're going to go ahead and select him with the 6th overall pick. There you go, medium elite. That's great. All right, let's see what Pittsburgh does. Let's see what we missed out on here. So Fetisov, no, we're not getting rid of you. There you go, medium elite for Timothy Liljegren. We all know the story with him. But Maxime Comtois, that's nice. I will take that. And Nashville's got the 8th overall pick. Provorov and Booth for a 1st and a 3rd. No, thank you. So they got Rasmussen, who's a low elite. So we definitely made a good move there in getting Comtois, who's a medium elite. I definitely like that move. Now we have our 9th overall pick. What are we going to do? Now, I think getting a defenseman wouldn't be that bad. We have a top 5 guy, so this guy really dropped. Medium AHL top 2 or a medium 7th defenseman. Now, I'm a little bit wary about that medium AHL top 2. Let's see here. I haven't scouted him at all. He's a top 5 guy, though. How bad can he really be? Top 5 guy. I mean, it seems pretty good. Or we can go with Callan Foote here, who is a medium 7th defenseman or a medium AHL top 2. You see, I think the top 5 is nice. We get him at 9th overall. It seems like a steal. Thilinder, is that how you pronounce his name? Thilinder. The fact that he dropped quite a bit is a little bit concerning, but I mean, a top 5 guy to get at 9th overall, I don't see why we shouldn't do that. I'm going to go ahead and select this guy. We're going to see what he's looking like. Medium AHL top 2. That scares me, but the top 5 projection is nice, and it's kind of weird that he dropped to 9th, but you know what? We're going to take a risk here. There you go. We're going to take a defenseman. Let's go. There he is. Okay, you know what? High top 6 is pretty good. I'll take that. Okay, now here is an interesting trade. So the Columbus Blue Jackets want Ivan Provorov and Sven Berchi for a 1st, Thomas Chabot, and a 2nd. Now, I don't really want to get rid of Ivan Provorov, and I'm probably not going to, but if I could switch out Provorov for maybe someone like Zach Bogosian, we could have ourselves a little bit of a deal here. So Zach Bogosian's trade value is a little bit less than, okay, look at this guy's trade value though. I mean, that was a pretty good pick. High top 6 at 9th overall. That was a steal. So if we give him Zach Bogosian here, whose trade value is a little bit less, I really like Thomas Chabot though. Shit, they'll be over the cap. Okay, so if we can, you can keep your Calgary 2nd, all right? Now I'm going to take someone back with a little bit of cap. Who do we have that has a bit of cap? Oh, Rick Nash. No, I'm not going to get Rick Nash, obviously, but someone who is making a little bit of money. We'll see here. Vincent Trocheck making $4 million bucks. There's no one else really that's making a decent amount that I could trade for. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to make this trade go through. I do like Thomas Chabot, plus he's an original member of the Ottawa Senators, drafted 18th overall. He's a medium top 4. I would love to get Thomas Chabot, but what for? Thomas Chabot, what for? How about we take off Sven Berchi? I would love to just get Zach Bogosian for Thomas Chabot straight up, but they won't do that because of the cap situation. Now, what if we take on maybe a goalie? Do you have any goalies with some cap situation? Let me see if we can make something work here, and I'll be right back. How about Olis Mattsson, who is a 20-year-old medium 7th defenseman, 6'4", 217. What a name. Olis Mattsson. I like that. Okay, how about we throw you in there for Thomas Chabot, straight up for Sven Berchi. I don't know if Sven Berchi is going to grow or not. He's 24 years old, and I have a player in mind that can definitely replace him. So Sven Berchi for pretty much Thomas Chabot straight up. Will this go through? Trade accepted. There you go. All right, Thomas Chabot. Baby, we're making moves. I like it. Okay, this is actually perfect. Now, I think this is Caleb Jones, I believe, for Zach Bogosian. Now, I've pre-scouted this trade a little bit. Caleb Jones, he's the guy in Hut who has that international player of the game card. That's how I know his name. Caleb Jones, he's going to be nothing. I'm not interested in... actually, I shouldn't say he's not going to be nothing, but for us, it doesn't excite me. Two-way defenseman, medium top 6. It's pretty good, but since we just got Thomas Chabot, I'm going to take him off there. Now, you're seeing a player here who I really like, and that is Jonathan Drouin, 84 overall, 22 years old, medium top 6. Now, he should be like a high top 6 because he is a lot better than he actually is in game. But I still think he could definitely grow. Now, we got rid of Rick Nash, we got rid of Sven Berchi. Now, if we could move Zach Bogosian for Jonathan Drouin, I think that would be awesome. I don't think it's going to go through straight up. If it does, great. If it doesn't, we'll have to think about making some more adjustments here. So yeah, I could tell it wasn't going to go through. They said it was too far off. So maybe adding like a third, since we do have 1 second round pick from Carolina this year. I wouldn't mind getting rid of our third for next year. So we get rid of a decent defenseman, a top 4 guy for Jonathan Drouin. Now he's going to replace... He's definitely going to replace Rick Nash and Sven Berchi. We got Braden Point coming up. We got Riley Barber coming up, so I'm not that concerned. But Zach Bogosian and a third for Jonathan Drouin. Will this trade go through? Absolutely beautiful. I'm happy to say that your counter proposal was in line with the objectives of the Vancouver Canucks, so we accept. I'm glad to see you appreciate the fine art of trade negotiations. Well, Jim Benning, I most certainly do. And I think we're done for trades here. I kind of accomplished everything I wanted to, which was great. Now we have the 17th overall pick here. Then I'm probably just going to let the computer draft the rest. I'll maybe think about getting my 5th overall pick, but I don't know if it's really worth it because there's so many trade offers I have to say yes and no to, yes and no. So what I'm going to do is probably select a goaltender here. Do we go with Gunderson? Norm Gunderson, all right, 6'2", 187. He's an American, or we could go with Michael DiPietro. Now, I've seen this guy be drafted a few times, and he doesn't really turn out. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Gunderson here. Norm, let's see how he pans out. Medium starter, that's really good. So this guy's a high backup. We got a medium starter. This has been a fantastic draft. We got rid of a lot of contracts that I wasn't willing to pay for anymore. I didn't want to deal with Rick Nash. I didn't want to deal with any more of those giant contracts. Looks like Ivan Provorov is the only one that people want. I do want to see DiPietro though. Let's see. Okay, he's a medium fringe starter, so we definitely made the right selection there, picking the medium starter. That was a great draft. I'm gonna go ahead and sim the entire draft, and we're gonna get the re-sign stage all ready to go. I'll show you guys the top 5 picks. I think we made out awesome. The 6th, the 9th, and the 47th were all great picks. I'm very happy with how this draft turned out. And see what Nolan Patrick is looking like. 72 overall medium elite. We all know how good he gets. Going over to New Jersey now, they selected that Shushko guy. I have no idea who he is. I have never seen him before. 56 overall, high top 9, 2nd overall. Why would you guys do that? Okay. Yeah, very interesting. They skipped over Nico Hischier, which is, I don't understand the reasoning towards that at all. That's so weird. I mean, he's only 57 overall as well, but he is medium elite. Going over towards the New York Rangers, they selected Vasalainen, who is 62 overall, and then 5th overall went to the Montreal Canadiens, and they got Gabe Vilardi, who's 59 overall. So let's see how our drafting turned out. Gabe Vilardi's 59 overall, and 66 for Maxime Comtois. I like that a lot. That's beautiful. Is it Thalinder or Tillander? Talander? Maybe it's Talander. I think it's Talander. Adam Talander. He is 64 overall. He's a project as well. Only 18 years old, so that's pretty decent. AHL top 6, AHL top 6. All those guys were like our 5th overall picks and stuff like that. So this is where I'm going to end the video right here. There's going to be another video tomorrow, obviously. I'm going to get the re-sign stage done in the next video, and then we're going to have a look at our team going into year number 2. I want to have a look at how our team is going to be looking. So we got Tavares, Heatley, Zherdev. We got Draisaitl, Drouin. So we need to get a second line winger. We got Draisaitl, Drouin. Our third line is probably going to be Riley Barber, Brandon Sutter, and Patrick Maroon, and Braden Point. And then we're definitely going to have to get some players in free agency. So that's definitely a task that I have to look at. We ended up keeping Pascal Leclerc. I know you guys are going to be up in arms about that, but I don't want to quit on a guy quite yet. We have to make a lot of moves in free agency here. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. What an episode. We got a lot of stuff done. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.